A 29-year-old Palestinian man has died from severe malnutrition in Gaza as a result of Israel's complete blockade of aid and food entering the Strip. Ayoub Abu died at the Kuwait Specialised Field Hospital in Rafah, South Gaza. The death of a young adult has been especially notable, indicating the levels of starvation and compounding humanitarian catastrophe as a result of Israel's policy of blocking essential supplies. Some Israeli officials have repeatedly denied that there's starvation in the Gaza Strip.
So we supplied them with about 1.8 million tons, 1.8 million tons of food and aid. That's an enormous amount. And that's why you didn't have mass starvation at all.
However, others have admitted that nothing is entering Gaza. Photos and videos published showed Ayoub in a skeletal state with clear weight loss. According to a post by the hospital, Ayoub had arrived lifeless due to the malnutrition in a scene that embodies the magnitude of the worsening humanitarian catastrophe in the Gaza Strip due to the closure of crossings and the ongoing aggression. Most of the victims who have died due to the starvation and malnutrition have thus far been children, with the latest victim indicating the Gaza Strip is facing a dangerous development that could open the door to an increase in the number of deaths among adults, unless urgent intervention is made. The hospital added that the fact that a young man in the prime of his life has become so emaciated that he's become a skeleton is living proof of the horrific Israeli crime against Palestinians, through its deliberate and systematic policy of starvation, which is no longer limited to children alone. Israel is accused of implementing a policy of intentional starvation as part of its war on the Gaza Strip. Furthering the shortage of food has been the recently operating US-Israeli aid initiative, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, that has come under scrutiny for its use of military force whilst distributing aid, and the lack of life-saving essentials in what it has been distributing. In a joint statement, more than 130 NGOs have called for immediate action to end the deadly US and Israeli-backed aid scheme and revert back to the United Nations-led aid coordination mechanisms. The GHF began operating in late May, following a 3-month total blockade on the Gaza Strip by Israeli forces. Since then, more than 600 Palestinians have been killed and around 4,000 wounded by Israeli troops while attempting to access food and aid supplies. Whilst GHF distribution points have been called killing zones and a failed attempt to allegedly solve the starvation crisis Israel has created in Gaza, doctors and humanitarian experts call for urgent action to protect the Palestinian people from Israel's intentional starvation and its intensifying campaign of genocidal eradication.